what are you doing? Shh.
There were live pyrotechnics, daring stunts, and super realistic special effects. How did it all come together to bring Red Notice to our screens? The hot as fire tango scene might seem like a fairly simple moment to shoot, but everything from the tango itself to orchestrating background actors working safely took a whole lot of planning and practice. We're talking a lot of rehearsing.
They kept on telling DJ, we gotta practice, we gotta make sure we have this.
According to The Rock himself, though, they had nothing to worry about.
She was dancing with a man who dances like butter, smooth as butter.
Dwayne Johnson and Gal Gadot were in the perfect environment for shooting the feisty dance.
Gal and I shot this scene. No one was in this scene with us.
After having COVID himself, The Rock didn't want to cut any corners in terms of health safety when filming, so the pair did multiple takes filming completely alone. All the other dancers were real though. They were just added after the fact.
Set up various points of where they were going to composite in the other human beings.
When the background performers needed to film their parts and do so in close quarters, they didn't just have masquerade masks on. Under every single one of these elaborate decorative masks is a classic N95. Safety came first, and seeing just how flawlessly this CGI is proof that neither safety or quality were compromised. The trio battling is impressive, so it wouldn't be a surprise if there was a ton of CGI and stunt doubles in place. But the megastar trio of DJ, Gadot, and Reynolds dove right in and performed this impressive battle themselves. But not without some consequences.
I cut my toe when I did the kick.
Not to worry though, Gadot was fine. The fact that this crew grew to be so close over the course of filming is evident in the movie, and likely a reason why they could all work together to whip out such fantastic moments. Shattering sugar glass, impromptu weapon battles, and all.
They make me better. I love, coming up with stuff with them.
The trust, the performances, the actors. It's hard to go wrong with this combo. This scene actually only took a few takes to get just right. He didn't want to. The Rock, for the record, did not want to fight in the movie. And behind the movie magic, his wish came true. Not one fist hit one face when bringing this scene to life in reality. The combination of convincing actions and perfect reactions from DJ, with a dash of the best CGI, make it something special. Their convincing environment on set no doubt put them in the right vibe to duke it out.
Look, I don't want to fight you. No fight.
This escape saw a whole lot of action on set and in the movie. While CGI took care of some of the explosions, this one was fully simulated on set, and it looks fierce. The stunt performers didn't have an easy time of it. Some of them even rigged up to jerk vests and whipped back on wires, pulling them away from the pyrotechnics. Practical effects and stunt-heavy scenes like this were a solid contributor to that $200 million budget.
Create a distraction.
Reynolds, caught in a flash.
And my fighting style is just chicken shit.
Quite literally in both the final cut and behind the scenes, even if those flashes looked a bit different by comparison. The light flicker wasn't quite as impressive as the CGI explosion center stage in the movie, but combined with that solid it works well enough for the actors to bring it. Evidently, a lot of imagination had to go into their prep for this experience. That said, the computer-generated shot looks phenomenal, and like it really could have been performed with pyrotechnics live. Jumping off the top of a building? Just your average day at work on Red Notice. Another impressive stunt. Those major jumps and having to maneuver themselves in harnesses and wires isn't easy. When it came time to edit the footage, not a whole lot was actually done since the team so brilliantly recreated the scene on the day. A few wires had to be edited out, but in the end, we got the real deal. DJ's fumbling landing on the roof is absolute gold. They jumped not one, not two, but 3 times. Well, definitely more than that, but this shot specifically was compiled of 3 separate steps. The way it's cut together, you'd have no idea, but the team started off with breaking through the window first, and then moved on to a big stunt leap The Rock and Reynolds performed themselves. The actors were protected under their clothes, so they didn't really have it as bad as their characters did, but their crashing through roof shingles is still wickedly impressive. Who knew they'd film this many takes to get the shot just right? It is very much worth it though.
And it works really well.
Lucky Ryan Reynolds knew just which rock would bring this whole wall down. It was also pretty helpful to have a tech on set to instigate the practical movie magic on Reynolds' cue. When it came to building sets and practical props that the actors were actually able to interact with, Red Notice didn't even come close to falling short. Much of the strength of this movie was just how the team managed to safely recreate these experiences for the performers to act out for the cameras. This scene was one of the very few instances when Reynolds didn't actually perform a stunt himself, and witnessing just how intense it really was while filming, we don't blame him. The set made it a risk, and his stunt double Johnny James is clearly an expert when it comes to hardcore parkour battling. He may not be Reynolds, but filming this incredible action sequence, he is absolutely the world's greatest con artist, Nolan Booth.
Jesus, you scared me.
While it would be epic to crash through waterfalls with trucks, it's far from practical or safe when it comes to making a Hollywood movie. So the Red Notice team instead used this unbelievable custom-built contraption. A kind of truck simulator that the actors could work safely in while getting just as close as they probably would have wanted to really experiencing that situation. High-tech practical effects pieces like this no doubt made up a significant part of their huge budget. Is it a set or is it a construction zone? Honestly, it seems like it could have been both from the behind-the-scenes footage. Cranes, rubble, dust galore, not to mention the bits of snow falling. This is definitely one of the biggest falls, and with that rough slide down, hopefully they only had to do a few takes of this one. Mad props to the editing team. The coloring done in post and mountain-filled background in the movie looks so real and flawless, combined with what was captured practically. We thought it might have been natural jungle sunlight, but unfortunately, it was just a giant light set up in the middle. Effective nonetheless. We get to see a bit of these castmates' infamous laughter and goofing off on set. Having this much fun with co-stars and genuine pals made for a lot of blooper and line-flubbing moments like this.
My God, that was great.
Red Notice managed to expertly combine practical effects, wicked stunt performances, and the best of CGI to create amazing footage that wows us throughout the movie. Just how many times do you think the Magic Trio performed their big battle?